Hey guys, so I wanted to come on and do a little chit chat. I was thinking today, as women, we can talk about a lot of stuff. We could talk about, life, cancer, diseases, who our thought homegirl is seeing now. But when it comes to fertility, we are hushed. And when it comes to abortions, we are silenced. And I wanted to share my story to let others know you are not alone and it is absolutely okay. And that's that. And if you are someone who do not agree with abortion, that is truly your right, but you do not have the right to belittle, disrespect, or in a sense piss on anyone else because of the decisions they made in their life and what choices they felt was the best for them. I do make YouTube videos. I do have a fertility blog. I also have a food blog. I am a businesswoman, but I also am a human being, and I have no problem with clapping back and hurting your feelings. So that's my little PSA. So before you leave any rude comments, just know if you're not ready for my wrath, don't try me. So years ago, I was in an unfortunate situation where I lost a guy that at the time I thought was the love of my life. He was my person, and I lost our baby all in one night. And I'm not going to go into much detail about that. But after that and everything happening in the horrific manner that it did, that left me in a dark place for a while. I was in that dark place for maybe 1 or 2 years because I was afraid. I did not want to love. I did not want to be loved. I didn't want to be liked. I didn't want to like you. Please don't like me. I did not want to be bothered with anybody. And it stayed that way for a long time, at least 2 years. And in the midst of that, I met this guy. I'm bored. I don't want to date anybody, but I could chat with people. So I was on Black Planet. Oh, God, I just told my age. I was on Black Planet, and I was talking to this guy. He was really cute, but I'm like, I don't want to like nobody. And we was chatting for a few months, and it was like I knew him forever, but I knew him as if I'd known a homeboy forever. So we finally went out, and he asked me straight up. He said, so do you think we can, see where this go? I really like you. You kind of cute. You kind of fly. I like your vibe. And I looked him dead in the face, and I said, well, I think you're a cool dude, and I'll hang out with you, but you kind of short, and I'm gonna be really uncomfortable with bending down to kiss you. I'm 5 feet 9.5 inches tall, so he had to be every bit of 5'6", maybe 5'7", on a good day. And it stayed that way for years. Like, we laughed it off, and it was like that for years. That was my best homeboy. Like, we had so much fun together. It was just, if you had a friend of the opposite sex, he was it. He was just awesome. Someone you could talk to, you can hang out with, you can get the male perspective from, and it's none of that other stuff in the middle. And then one day I had friends over. By the end of the night, it was just me and him, and we was drinking, laughing, and all of that. And the next morning, we woke up naked on the couch. Now, I could sit here and be like, oh my God, it was the alcohol. Oh my God, it was the drinks. I hate it when people use alcohol as an excuse for their decisions. I personally don't think alcohol is to blame for what happened. I feel like it made us more comfortable to even jump out there. I think it was a situation of he liked me in that way, and me on the other hand, it's been so long since the person that I thought was my person passed away, that I just missed being missed, and I missed being touched, and I miss, you know, feeling wanted. And so we did it. It's like, this is my best homeboy, so I trust him. So we did it. And instead of it being a situation of, oh my God, I just did my homeboy, for whatever reason, we try to make a relationship out of it. Because in our mind, we were so close as friends. We had so much respect for each other. This was going to be a perfect relationship. And it was. For about 9 weeks. And then I saw the real him. His representative left the building, and the real him came out, and it went violent really quick. One thing that I'm thankful for, it never was violent or anything in front of my daughter, or when my daughter was home, or any of that. But it was per hell. We would argue all the time. This guy, I don't even know why he drunk the way he did. He couldn't even handle wine coolers. Like, that's how bad it was. He would shake me. He would push me into walls. He humiliated me in front of his friends one day, but I'm not going to go into details with that. It was just really, really violent. And I avoided him for a long time. And the longer I stayed away from him, the more afraid I became. So one day I was like, let me just get this over with. He want to go to dinner and talk. Let me just get this over with. So I told him, meet me at my place when I got off of work, and we'll go talk. And he met me. I don't even think he met me. I think he was waiting for me all day in my parking lot. And we get up to my apartment, and he started going off instantly because of what I had on. I'll tell you what I had on. I had on a blue button-up shirt, business shirt. Mind you, I just got off of work. I had a blue button-up business shirt. I had a black skirt that came beneath my knees, black tights, black boots that stopped at my ankles. And he was calling me all types of whores and all types of freaks and bitches, and you a cunt, and you look like you going to the club, and you look like you dancing somebody's club. I can't be with no hoe, and all of this stuff. And for whatever reason, something snapped in me because I was getting dressed because we were supposed to go to dinner. I started taking everything out of my closet and just throwing it behind me because he was on my bed. I was like, this is what I would wear to the club. This is what I would wear to the club. And just throwing stuff. And in the midst of that, he caught a dress. And he put it around my neck and choked me. And I woke up half dressed with male fluid on my body. And a few days later, my best friend told me, she said, something just seemed off with you. I think you should take a pregnancy test. And I took it, and it was positive. And I said, I got to think about this. I do not say anything to him. Don't say anything. This is between me and you. I can't. I'm trying to get out of this situation right now. And for the next 2 weeks or so, he became more and more violent. I changed my locks. I changed my phone numbers. I switched cars with my best friend for a few weeks. So when I went to work, he wouldn't see my car in the parking lot. So if he came in, they'll tell him I'm not in. And it got one day, my coworker told him I no longer work there. Like, it was that bad. And he would come to my house every night trying to make a scene, and he'll just be destroying property in a complex, throwing rocks, but they would never hit my windows. They'll hit other people's windows. And then one day he knew that every other weekend my daughter was gone. She was with her dad. So one Friday night, he climbed my neighbor's balconies. Well, yeah, balconies looked like the deck style balcony in apartments. He climbed those to get to my floor. It was only 3 floors, and he couldn't get in because my sliding door was locked, and he rammed through it and broke the glass. Glass was everywhere and beat the living shit out of me. Like, the living shit out of me. Yeah. The very next day, I called my best friend. I said, I need you to go with me to Hillcrest. Hillcrest was an abortion clinic in Washington, D.C. And I said, I need you to go with me to Hillcrest. And when she picked me up, I was all bruised and stuff. And I was all bruised. It's crazy. And I didn't have enough money to get put to sleep. So the lady laid me on the bed. Well, before she laid me on the bed, she gave me 2 Aleve, the little blue pills that you buy from CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, Aleve. She gave me 2, a little cup of water like this. I had to take them, lay down on the table. She told me, look to my left. Do not look to my right at all. Stay looking to my left. And it'll be over in a few minutes. Next thing you know, you heard this loud noise. It was this huge machine in the room. I don't know if that's where the fetus and stuff go. I don't know. But it was this huge machine in the room. And you heard this loud noise. It was like, and she started digging around in my uterus, well, in my vagina. And you heard something suck out. And I don't know why my head went right, but my head turned right. And in this clear tube, you see all this blood and stuff coming up. And it was one of the saddest days of my life. I beat myself up about that for years. Because abortions wasn't something that I grew up believing in. You know, you get pregnant, you take care of your responsibilities. I just felt like if I was to keep the baby and ran, he would have found me. I felt like if I was to keep that baby, I wouldn't have never gotten rid of this guy. Never, ever gotten rid of this guy. I grew up in a home where my dad used to beat my mom simply because it was Saturday. And my mom stayed with him for years because she wanted to make it work because she had a baby, she had me, and, you know, you just want to make it work with the dad because it's always for the kids, when the reality is staying with somebody for the kids is never the right answer. But what helped me sleep at night was knowing that I made the right decision for me. I made the right decision for my daughter. I made the right decision for that unborn baby. I made the right decision for my life. The very next week, no, 2 weeks later, I came home from work. All of my stuff from in my apartment was in the grass. I got evicted. And I'm like, how in the world did I get evicted when I don't owe any rent? And, you know, my rent is paid. Everything is done. I got evicted because of all of his disturbances, all of the police cars, all of the property damage. They then tried to take me to court for the property damage of the community and to the apartment because of him. But ultimately, everything was thrown out because they evicted me without giving me notice. And that was how I got rid of him. That was another blessing I received, because it was so embarrassing to come home from work and have my daughter in the car and all of our shit is outside and you gotta pick up all your stuff. They don't, when you get evicted, they don't make sure, oh, let's put all the clothes in this bag. Let's put the food in this bag. Everything is together. So all of our stuff was like destroyed. Furniture was looked through. Neighbors done took some of my stuff and it was a hot mess. But he didn't know where I was going. And that was how I got rid of him. Yeah. Domestic violence is never okay. If you are in a situation where you are being physically assaulted, verbally assaulted, or if you're in a relationship where somebody is making you feel anything less than okay, go. I'm not saying have an abortion. Do not use an abortion as a form of birth control. I unfortunately, I grew up with girls that used it as that. Abortions is not birth control. But if you are in a situation like I'm in, do whatever you have to do to make sure you are safe. Until next time, bye.